What is going on, guys? Carter here with Edge Mindset. We have for you today the most expensive custom knife that I have ever owned. You are going to witness me unboxing and showing off a knife that I didn't think I would ever own. This is coming from a maker in Brazil. This particular knife takes over a year for him to fully put together. Now, obviously, it's because there's other things going on and stuff like that, but the process is so intensive. And the amount of orchestration needed to make this knife means that the wait list on this thing is like insane. Like, if his books are open, you really cannot even get in, right? So I lucked out and I had some connections to some people over in Brazil, some people that I've sold to and worked with in the past, and they were able to hook me up with this bad boy here. So in order to fund this, I'm gonna have to liquidate most, if not all, of my collection. Like, a lot of my stuff, a lot of my nice pieces are gonna have to be sold in order to fund this particular knife, but I think it is absolutely worth it. And I want to see what you guys think. Would you liquidate your whole collection or near your whole collection in order to have a piece like this? Wow, this is amazing. So this is his Mermaid flipper right here. It is made out of Vanex super steel on the blade with a titanium nitrate coating that uses a very special recipe in-house. He doesn't mess with titanium or anything like that. He uses steel because he likes that rigidity. He also doesn't do any custom work or anything on here. He actually uses steel injection molded on those handles there, rather than doing any expensive milling or anything like that. He prefers tip down carry, bent steel pocket clip so that you can easily replace this. Let's give it a fire. Let's see what this is like. Oh, and he is one of the only custom knife makers that uses assisted opening on his knives, which is very unique. You don't see that very often. Oh, look at that. Look at the tail right there. That is the flipper. The tail is the flipper, as well as the finger guard. The ergonomics on this thing are out of sight. Liner lock right there. Taking it old school, Michael Walker. Okay, I can't keep this up anymore. I can't keep this up anymore. So this is the joke knife, right? This is the most famous joke knife, kind of. I don't know. I went extra cheap on this. So this is the famous joke knife that, a year ago everybody kind of got one. But the one that they get, like the one that people get is the Boker Magnum edition. It's like $30. I'm like, I'm not going to spend $30 on this. But they've got these for $15 on Amazon, which, I don't know, looks like it's the same damn thing. If anybody has the real Boker Magnum, because the weird thing about this knife and Boker, like Boker Magnum is their budget line, right? But they don't typically do like true gas station stuff. So the fact that Boker even has something like this is very bizarre. And it's definitely not something that Boker's like designed themselves or commissioned themselves. So I'm assuming that this is probably the same exact knife, just without the Boker labeling on there and the Boker package, right? It just came in a regular box. Do I even still... Yeah, it just came in like a white box. I don't know where the top is. Just came in like it was actually black with a sleeve in there. Came in a regular box. I'm thinking this is the same damn knife. Why'd I buy this? Because it's funny. I bought it because it's funny. $15 on Amazon. I had an Amazon gift card. But I'm also wondering that maybe I want to do some cutting tests with this thing. Not this. I want to see if it's sharp. Now, granted, I don't have the best angle here with my camera, but... Oh, wow. Oh, look, you can do that. So if you insert it, you can almost cut it. So maybe I will, I don't know if, I was going to say maybe I'll sharpen this up. I don't know if I mean, I'll try. This isn't as deep of a design as you would think, but yeah, I'll clamp it up. I'll sharpen it up. I'll see if I can get it sharp. And then I wanted to do some cutting tests. Supposedly this is 440 steel. I assume 440A. I have never actually tried to test anything this low. Back when I was buying knives of this caliber, it didn't last very long. Other than when I was a kid. You know, when I was a kid, I had a bunch of stuff like this, but I didn't test anything. I didn't pay attention to edge retention or anything. But when I really got into knives, I did buy a few knives of this caliber that I thought were cool, but I never really used them or tested them. So I don't know what 440C does. Like, I think it would be hilarious if this actually does way better than I expected and works closer to modern steels than I thought it would. You know, a lot of it comes down to that heat treat. I don't think it's even 440C. I think it's 440A or B, which is pretty bad. And then I could do some, I don't know, some hard use testing on it. We'll see. I don't know. Or it might just sit in a drawer used as a prop, something like that. But this is like the ugliest knife ever. Now, you know, I did the whole shtick of it being like a custom knife. But, and I mentioned this before though, there's a reason gas station knives look like this. And there's a reason that when people do have very expensive kind of old school high-end Knife Makers Guild customs, why one of the common things people say is gas station knife. And that is because these are modeled after those kind of knives from like the 90s and early 2000s. I mean, they're still going on right now. But this is what custom knives kind of used to look like because regular knives were very utilitarian or you know, old school traditional knives. I'm trying to see what else we have. You know, very basic, not even this interesting looking. And so custom knives were usually very gentlemanly, shiny, with a lot of hand work and stuff. And so in a custom knife, this all would have been hand sculpted, you know, into the handle and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, so that's why a lot of these knives kind of look like this, because they're trying to look like these expensive custom knives that used to happen. But would be kind of fun to test it. Is it centered? It's actually, I mean, kind of centered. Assisted opening, liner lock. Lockup's pretty good. And it's actually, you know, I get a little bit of lock slip, barely. Honestly, this locks up tighter than a lot of more expensive knives that I've handled recently. God, this thing is ugly. Tip down, of course. That's like a telltale thing of these kind of knives. Tip down. Still, to this day. That's how I always know. Running this channel, I will get a bunch of emails of people wanting me to, like, you know, collaborate. AKA, I want to send you some crappy knives and have you feature them on your channel. And, like, you know, I'm open to things. I need to make content. I can't afford just to buy super expensive nice knives all the time. But when I look at their picture and it's tipped down, I know it's of a caliber that even I don't want to mess around with. And that's exactly what this is in. But like I said, it's actually pretty comfortable. So we're not going to review this thing. That's ridiculous. But it might be kind of fun to see how much this baby can handle, both in terms of just cutting ability as well as lock strength, tip strength, all that kind of stuff. I have a feeling this thing is going to bend rather than break. All right, that's it, guys. If you stuck around this long, comment down below. Mermaids for life. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.